was a good performance, but not the result René Slagers was looking for. Now they have to do it all again against the record 8-time winners of this competition. Arsenal make 2 changes from the first leg. There's a change of goalkeeper. Van Domselaar is in, Zinsberger to the bench. Chloe Kelly replaces Beth Mead. Well, last weekend's victory meant Lyon maintained their 100% record in this competition with 9 wins out of 9. Former Arsenal boss Joe Montemuro will be hoping to finish the job on home soil. He's made 2 changes this evening. Ada Hederberg, the all-time record scorer in this competition, starts, as does Wendy Renard. The Lyon captain makes her 500th appearance for the club. And this is what they are playing for, a chance to play Barcelona in the final in Lisbon next month. Question is, can the Gunners make it there by finally beating French opposition in a Champions League knockout tie at the 5th time of asking? All right, here we go. Farah, Karen, this is Arsenal's time now. Chelsea are gone. It's all about Arsenal. They haven't made a final, Kaz, since you were there in 2007. Good memories?
Yeah, for me, yeah. Oh, I mentioned it. Honestly, it was also, I said earlier, we were backs against the wall for a lot of it, but we had the grit and determination. So I hope the team do it tonight. Chelsea aren't there, so come on, Arsenal, get an English team there. We want that.
Well, it's just a single goal in this game. So do you see this one being overturned? Can they do this away at Lyon?
I think they've got a great opportunity to do that. I think it will be difficult. I think they can take many positives from that first leg, Arsenal. They created a lot of chances, certainly from wide area and crosses. We know they've brought in Renard, very experienced centre-half, obviously brings height to that back line of Lyon. So they might have to adapt if they're going to do that, but they certainly know they can create chances and get goals against this team. So it'll be difficult because we know Lyon haven't lost at home in 2 seasons now. They lost in the French Cup on penalties, so they haven't lost in 90 minutes in a while. But if anyone's going to do it, I believe it's this Arsenal team that can. I think so. I think they'll be just on the balance of the game, I actually think Lyon had the better or the more clearer cut chances. Arsenal created a lot more chances, but not as clear cut. So I think if there was a come away with a draw, which, after they got themselves back in with the penalty, they would have been happy to come away with that. I think the naivety in that defending, 4 minutes conceding after they got themselves back into it. But I do believe, because the way the game went on the night, I think they believe that they can get something from this, and there's only a goal in it for them.
All right, well, I'll tell you what, let's head out pitch side because the atmosphere is building out in Lyon. I think those are tears in Kim Little's eyes. Wow, that was unbelievable. Well done to Arsenal to go to Lyon and score 4 goals away from home to reach a Champions League final. Kaz?
Seeing Kim Little there get emotional, and that's got me a little bit, but I'm absolutely ecstatic for him. What a performance. It was classy, it was controlled, it was... Honestly, they absolutely deserved it. Brilliant. And the manager has been a revelation since he's come in, got the group, and absolutely thrilled for them. They absolutely deserved it.
Oh, look at the scenes there. Russo, Caldente, 500 travelling fans as well, got themselves out to Lyon to follow Arsenal. Just brilliant scenes. Did we know they had this in them, Farah?
I think they've shown it. I think if you look back to early parts of the season, they had some really difficult moments, certainly when Jonas Eideveld was in charge. And I think René Slagers has given something different. She was really refreshing for the players, and I think you saw a massive shift in the players and in the confidence of the players. And I think they've started to show that. They've certainly been the strongest of the WSL teams of late and come into this part of the competition in tremendous form. So I think the 2 most informed teams in Europe are going to a final. I think it's going to be an unbelievable final. But, Arsenal were unbelievable today. And we spoke about a crazy game. We spoke before, would it be like the Manchester-Lyon game in the Europa League? And it was that for Arsenal today. They were phenomenal.
Look at Karen beaming like a Cheshire cat over here. But Kaz, your title is potentially under threat now that Arsenal are back in the final.
Titles are there to be won and re-won. And it's 18 years since, obviously, that 2007 final. And for the stature of Arsenal, the last few years I've been frustrated with Arsenal. I think a lot of people have recognised that, because I was so frustrated with the style that they played, and they should have been better for that legacy, I think, that's been there for so long. They're back now, and they deserved it. And I hope they go and win it now.
All right, I should give you confirmation of that. What are you doing in 27 days' time? Make a date for your diary, because Arsenal are heading to the Champions League final. They will play Barcelona for the title in Lisbon on Saturday, the 24th of May. Welcome back. Well, those are the scenes at full-time out in Lyon. Arsenal have made it to the Champions League final, the first time the women have made it in 18 years. Kim Little in tears, the emotions pouring out of them. They overturned the deficit. They went into this 2-1 behind. On the day, they finished 4-1 winners, 3-5 on aggregate. We'll take that all day long, won't we, girls?
All day.
Cass is getting quite emotional about this, but it was just an unbelievable game. They just played the perfect game plan from start to finish.
Farah, go, please.
Yeah, I think so. I think, when you talk about you're going away and obviously we knew they were chasing that one goal because it was 2-1 down going into the leg. But I thought right from the off, in terms of the press and getting a shape out of possession, whether it was a high press or just keeping shape to intercept, and then really front-footed and aggressive with that press. They did that really well. And then when they had the ball, the quality then they had with the ball, I think was a difference in this leg to the first leg. And then obviously that ruthlessness that we've seen in terms of the 4 goals that they got. Absolutely phenomenal. So, absolute joy to watch.
Do you know what I'm laughing at? I wasn't creeping, but I just saw your notes and it says, come on.
Yeah.
massive big letters. So I think that's how we all feel, sorry.
Definitely. We're all living. I feel like you were living every kick with Arsenal during that game there, Kaz, as well. But should we have a look at the goals? Let's just bask in this a little bit more because, as you said, from the off, they were at it. And this happened within the first 5 minutes with the opener.
Yeah, and the corner actually came from the press earlier to that, so it led to this corner. But the goalkeeper in no man's land, and eventually it comes in off the back of her. So that got them off to a really good start really early on in the game. And it actually come from as I mentioned, a really high press from Arsenal, being in a really good position, a mistake from Lyon, which led to the corner.
A mistake. Sometimes you do need a little bit of luck at these games at this end of the competition, don't you?
You do, but I think you absolutely do, but I think Arsenal earned it.
Yeah.
You earned it by controlling the game, playing good football. And you know what? If you get your little bit luck, you take it. And they went on and scored another 3. So fair play to them.
The second one, how good of an addition has Mariona Caldente been? They took her from Barcelona, brought her to Arsenal.
But I think putting them into more central midfield, I think at the start of her Arsenal career, she was playing on that left wing, and she's a technically gifted player. But she's better from these central areas because she can hurt and impact the game. And look, there's no better impact than this. Bang, top bins, thank you very much, and silence the crowd. And, right before half-time as well, it was like, thank you very much. Getting at half-time, group morale. And Lyon were deflated. Like, Farah was talking about the stats of conceding goals before the game, weren't you? They'd only conceded 3 in the competition till this point, and then concede 4 at home. Yeah, incredible.
Yeah, we'll get on to the Lyon point of view later. Let's carry on looking at Arsenal goals because we enjoy that. But 28 seconds into the second half, Alessia Russo stepped up, and it was the perfect start to the second half.
It wasn't, but I mentioned the press and the aggression. This is, as you mentioned, 30 seconds into the second half, 3 players running down this Lyon back 4. Yes, there was a few ricochets for it to eventually fall to Russo, but then the composure from Russo to get onto that and put it into the bottom corner. You see, look, 3 Arsenal players, there's a long ball that's gone forward. They're not going to give the centre-half any time to settle on the ball. They pick up seconds. And then, yes, a few ricochets here. Renard, one comes off her. I think the next one off Gills. Ricochets there. And then falls perfectly into Russo's path. And, the composure and the quality and the ruthlessness that they didn't have in the first leg, they had in this leg.
Yeah, she just never gave up on it.
Oh, brilliant finish as well. Working with Kelly Smith this season as well more closely, and what Renee has done with her, she's gone to another level, Russo, and it was a really lovely finish.
Caitlin Foord, she scored in the 5-1 here 3 years ago. She scored again today. This was Vanessa Gilles, you've spoken about her all game, Farah.
I actually think she was Arsenal's second best player because I think Kim Little was the best player on the pitch. But she made plenty of mistakes in the build-up to Arsenal's goal. But I think Foord, she deserved that goal. I think her work rate throughout the game, her positioning out of possession was very good. And then to just get that little bit of luck, to score that goal and put the game to bed. An unbelievable finish right into the top corner, give the goalkeeper absolutely no chance. That was probably a bit harsh on Gills, but she had a nightmare, a game that she won't want to remember.
It's a credit to Arsenal when you see someone having a shocker from the early on to keep going at them and be ruthless and go for the jugular. And you have to credit Arsenal that when you sense a weakness or a potential area, they've gone for it. Fair play.
Just very quickly, did they get away with one a little bit at the end there with the penalty? Did the ball touch Beth Mead's hand in the box? That's a yes.
I think so, but it doesn't matter. And even if it was given, it wouldn't have mattered.
All right, should we move on then, yeah? Because Kim Little, all game, what a captain, what a leader. And that's exactly what she did out there today, Karen. I know you're a very proud friend, first and foremost.
I am, but I think she's a classy person and a classy player. And again, I think the style in which the manager, I keep going about the manager, but the manager for me has put a style that suits the players, and particularly Kim Little. And what you're seeing from Kim Little is she's been far higher up the pitch this season and being under the manager and doing things like this. I mean, she's 34 and she's playing like when she joined, I think, in 2008. Do you know what I mean? So she's doing things like, I can't believe that she's still playing at this level that well and getting better and better. And I think that's because of her attitude, her application. You know, I do know her quite well, and how she is a top professional. So I'm not surprised she's doing things like this. But her and Caldente's relationship together, playing the centre midfield, but having the licence to go and attack. But things like this, the experience of using her body, and we mentioned it in the Chelsea game, the ball and player don't get past you. One, but not both. And if this is the case, little nudges and little bit of experience where she can come and help a teammates at bang there, just stops any form of counter-attack, and then, woof, calmness, keep the ball. And for me, that was when she got emotional there at the end. I've never seen Kim get like that. She's a consistent, doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low. To see that, I feel quite emotional seeing that, because she's a classy player in person.
Well, reaching that Champions League final, the first time that Arsenal have done it in 18 years, being the captain and the leader, I imagine that is something she is incredibly proud of. But you mentioned there the relationship with Caldente as well, and that's obviously something that's been building as Caldente's come in, but they just seem to control that area of the pitch.
Yeah, they do, and I think people question it. I think Caldente herself questioned, you know, she was comfortable out on that left-hand side, but I think the quality that these two bring, look, just no backlift, getting the ball into a good area, Caldente there. I think this one, this is her goal. Look, the relationship, Kim Little, the composure there to pick up a second ball, and then the quality. I mean, I don't think we have to say much about this. Out of her feet and just bends it into the top corner. She has that quality. This is what I like about her most. She controls the speed of the ball. This is a cheeky little nutmeg, but he's always looking to play the ball forward. You'll see on this occasion here, she plays one here, little lifts it into a wide player here. And then this, when it comes back to her, I think this is the one I like the best, is that when you talk about speed and drawing in a press and then just beating the press, she does that so well and always gets Arsenal on the front foot and is always looking to play forward passes and really positive with the ball. Their relationship, unbelievable. And I think the amount of goals she's brought to Arsenal, certainly in the Champions League.
How do you think she'll feel about facing her old side in the Champions League final? The last game she actually played for them was the Champions League final for Barcelona.
She'll be relishing it. I think she's been probably the best player in the WSL for me this season, and to go and play her former team in a final, that's pretty cool.
It's very cool. We're so looking forward to that. 27 days' time, be there. This was all masterminded by Renee Slagers, though. How much credit should we be giving her for this? They've gone over to Lyon. They've scored 4 goals. They were 2-1 down. She's overturned the tie. Jo Montemuro was her mentor at one point. She's beaten her own mentor. We'll hope to hear from her after the break.
Their first final in 18 years beckons. These are moments of magic.
Incredible full-time scenes over in Lyon as Arsenal make their first Champions League women's final in 18 years. Renee Slagers at the helm, congratulating her whole team. Let's hear from captain Kim Little, who's speaking to Natalie Quirk.
Kim, huge congratulations. You're into the Champions League final for the first time since 2007. Just tell us what this means to you and to this Arsenal club.
Yeah, it means a lot, which I think you can tell by the emotion. Obviously this is an incredible football club, and we've had numerous games in the Champions League and not quite made it to the final since we won it in 2007. It's just really special to get there, and even to have Kelly here, who was part of that squad who won it back then. Excited and looking forward to that, and we all can't wait to represent this great club in the final.
It was a brilliant performance right from kick-off, and you spoke about being composed, staying calm, having concentration. Just how important was that in this game? Yeah,
I think we've got that within this group where we believe in each other. We're very good at executing our game plans, and I think we did it fairly well in the first game, but not quite well enough. But then today I think we executed it very well, and we were clinical, and I think, obviously we thoroughly deserved to win.
It's not the first time we've seen comebacks from this team this season. Just how much has that been worked on this season, just overcoming those setbacks?
Yeah, this season we've obviously had a number of them. Obviously the quarter-final, now the semi-final. We just, like I said, the team's got such depth of quality, so whoever starts and the players that come on, we always have the belief that we can score goals in a small amount of time, and we've shown that again today.
You do it with Renee Slegers at the helm. Just what can you say about what she's instilled in this team since she came in charge?
Yeah, I think I've said this in a number of interviews, just, a calmness and a composure, and just to detail and to point, I think, and just simplifying it in that way. And the words before the game are like that, and then I think you can see that in our performances, because I think they're just very clean and, executed well like we were today.
You've knocked out Real Madrid, you've knocked out Lyon. Can you keep that belief and beat Barcelona in the final in May?
Yeah, of course, that is our aim, and obviously Barcelona are an incredible team. We've seen that in their semi-final against Chelsea, and we'll be very aware of their strengths, but I believe in this team, and when we're at our best on our day, I think we can beat anyone.
Huge congratulations. Go and enjoy the moment.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, Kim's definitely composed herself, but I'm sure there's a little tear there at full time. But she wasn't going to show us that in the interviews. You said, Karen, she's never too high, never too low. But even that moment got to her at the end there. But if we remember Arsenal's journey in this Champions League, they lost their opening group game 5-2 to Bayern Munich. That was Jonas Seifeld's penultimate game. So you sort of had one more after that. But the journey they've been on, if you'd have told this team this is where they'll end up, I mean, Ferry, you're shaking your head. Would you have believed it?
I don't think they would have believed it. No, at the time, I wouldn't have believed it, but I don't think the players themselves would have. I don't think they believed in what was happening at the time. And I think, as I said, Renee Slegers has done a fantastic job. From the moment she come in and you heard Kim Little speak, excuse me, about her there and the calmness that she's brought to this team, I think that's been the massive difference. The calmness, the composure, and I think in terms of the information that she gives out, minimal information. She knows the players are good enough to be there. She knows they can execute a game plan. And I just think that's what they needed. And the confidence that she's given to these players. I mean, you heard Kim there say they reckon they can go on and beat this Barcelona team that we're all talking about as the best team in Europe at the minute. So they're definitely full of confidence.
I mean, she's a young manager. It's like a sort of, with respect, I don't mean that disrespectfully at all, but just what she's done for that Arsenal team. She's bringing out the best in players like Russo and getting the goals, and she just seems to understand this team.
It just seems to have clicked, Becky, and she's the only change. So, but I love the style, and you're right about the calmness, but just for me, that's how Arsenal used to play, and to get it back to that, and now they're getting success with it, it's so good. And you hear there, Kim mentioned Kelly Smith as well. You know, having winners in that team who've been there, done it, who know the football club, I think is also helpful. And probably, Arsenal have been so good at marketing and they've been leading, and it's great to see them in the finals at this calibre, because I think that's where they should be. They're a top team, top club, and the manager has been the catalyst for that for me.
Well, back in 2021, Barcelona beat Arsenal 4-0 in the last meeting that they had together. So how do you think Barcelona are feeling tonight, knowing they're going to face Arsenal again? All right, a couple of years later, a few changes, but where do you think the mentality's at?
I think, looking at Barca, that they will be favourites going into the game. And I think, look, they've been there, done it, and they'll be confident. Arsenal will be the underdogs, but I think for both of them, they'll just be enjoying tonight and try and enjoy the moment of getting to a final. That's very rare in your career. You have to enjoy that. But I really want to see Renee Slegers' tactical and details, because I think she's going to have to pull something magical out, and the players to try and do it. But like Kim said, if they believe it, that they've got the chance to do it, why not?
Well, some would have said that they were underdogs going away to Lyon, 2-1 down in the tie today.
Yeah, and I think that's because of the record that Lyon held at home, unbeaten in a long time. But I do think this Barcelona team will be looking at this result today, looking at this performance over the two legs, and seeing that there's a lot of threats within this Arsenal team, and threats that can maybe, push this Barcelona team to the maximum. So I don't think they'll be taking this lightly. I think Barca will believe that they're the best team in Europe. But I do think they'll look at that game today and be like, these have got threats and we'll have to be aware of them. So I don't think, as much as they're underdogs, they'll be taking it lightly.
All right, you can tell Arsenal won. All the players want to come out and speak. Caitlin Foord is now speaking to Nat Quirk.
Caitlin, huge congratulations. You've just knocked out the most successful team in this competition by 4-1 in their own backyard. Just sum up what that means.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible. I mean, to come into the game a goal down, I guess it didn't faze us. We knew what quality we have, and we thought we played really well at home. So, to come here, we just knew if we play our game, we could do it. So I didn't expect it to be like that, but, I'll take that.
Those goals seem to come in crucial moments, right in the opening minutes, maybe to calm any nerves that you may have had just before the break, and then seconds into the second half. How important were they for the confidence?
Yeah, no, it was massive, and I mean, I think we came out really well and started fast, and I mean, you get rewarded with goals like that when you get the momentum, and I think that's what happened with the first goal, and as well as the second just before half time. But yeah, it just built the confidence more and more every time.
Seems you like scoring here. Talk us through that one.
Yeah, I guess so. I think all of us, we enjoy coming here and playing. Yeah, I think I just got lucky with, she had a slip and I picked the ball up and, yeah, just tried to stay calm in front of goal and slowed it away and, yeah, just enjoyed it after that.
How much was that game here a couple of years ago spoken about before tonight?
It wasn't really spoken about, but I think it was just in the back of our heads. We'd come here and we had a game like that and, to believe we can do it again, and we did, so, yeah.
And to do that in front of I believe, more than 500 fans that were cheering you on here, just how special was that?
Yeah, no, they were insane. They stuck them up in the nosebleeds, but they were loud and we heard them. And yeah, they definitely always give us that push. And yeah, just so proud to be a part of this club and have fans like that follow us everywhere and yeah, have our back every single game.
Defending champions then Barcelona in the final. What's your feeling on that?
Yeah, it's going to be a tough game. It's final. Anything can happen. So yeah, we'll obviously look forward to it. An exciting moment for us. So yeah, just can't wait to take them on.
Go and enjoy the celebration.
Thank you very much.